Mays Aiken.
They say you used to play ball coked up.
Go get back into baseball.
You really think they'll give you a chance to coach?
And who better hitting coach than me?
So great to see you, man.
I want back in.
Willie Mays Aiken still swinging for the bleachers, huh?
If you do get back into it, are you gonna leave again?
I'll never leave you again, Camilla.
What a thrill to talk to you. What a fantastic movie, The Royal. The Willie Mays Aiken story. It has everything that a Hollywood movie would crave. A baseball star, World Series, drugs, prison, downfall, a comeback story, all the right ingredients, and it's a true story. So as an actor, you know, you must have been thrilled when you got attached to this project.
Yeah, unfortunately, Willie Mays Aikens had to live the life for me to be able to portray it, you know, on the big and small screen. So I took, although, you know, it was an attractive role to play, there was always a circle of truth around my head that this is really someone's story. This is really, you know, someone that I have a relationship with now, that I was able to talk to and to realize what he went through in his life, to have these extreme circumstances. And there was, you know, like I said, a circle of truth around my head to kind of get it right, you know?
Well, you said this is a story of redemption, and I love how the movie focuses on that. And, you know, we know the bad stuff that happened, but I love about after all that, how he made his comeback. So, I mean, talk about a positive story.
Yeah, I think that oftentimes we, you know, with a lot of narratives, especially sports narratives, we spend a lot of time on the come up of the rise to fame and stardom and you know, the pinnacle of hitting the home runs in the World Series. We never deal with those more human aspects of a person's fall, and the accountability that it takes to find another home run, to hit a, you know, to swing, to even have the confidence and courage to swing the bat again after you've fallen so precipitously. Willie Mays Aikens, you know, was sentenced to the largest mandatory minimum drug sentence ever for a professional athlete, 24 years. And although there was, you know, prison reform that lessened that sentence to 14 years because of the draconian, you know, disparaging coke to rock cocaine, but that's the political part of this. The truth is that Willie admitted that it was his fault, that he chose to be a drug addict. He chose to squander his opportunity, his gift, his talent to party, to use his gift of hitting and being a professional baseball hero, to succumb to drugs and womanizing and alcoholism and selfishness and ego, and not focus on the things that were really important, like family, his community, and to being of service. So I was just really attracted to a film and a story like that.
Yeah, and I can only imagine the pressure, because you're portraying a real life, you know, even though you have a relationship with Willie Mays Aiken, I'm sure as an actor, it's just you're portraying his life, you know, so I'm sure you had pressure on that from that aspect, right?
Definitely is, you know, you want to get it right. I mean, from the part of the, you know, of the portrayal, you know, I'm a thespian true and I knew that I would get that right, but it just feels good to know that this is someone's personal story, and you just want to have a velvet glove in handling that. You know, I do want him to be happy about that portrayal. I do want him to feel like the themes of his life that he wanted to come across with, the truly to be reingratiated back into society, to be accountable for what he did, and for that to ring true, and for his service to be the thing that got him back into the good graces of MLB and the Kansas City Royals organization. I really wanted to get that right for his story.
And the Royals, they're on board with this film because it's their story too, isn't it?
it definitely is. And for the Royals and for his former teammates like George Brett to vouch for him, to put Willie up to be part of player development in the organization, they had to see that Willie was living up to what he said he wanted to do, which was to be of service, to change his life, to no longer be defined as a former player that messed up, a pariah to the organization, but to have a new lease on life and to sort of make amends for the things that he had done in the past.
And not only did you have the responsibility of playing Willie Mays Aikens, but also as a producer on the film. So it was you just took on so many different hats for this production, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I started this film as a producer. I came in, I loved the story, and I came in to craft a story the way it's crafted, kind of after post baseball for him, because I realized how important and how impactful that story is to the average American, in my opinion. And it wasn't until we were a little further into the development process that the other producers said, Amin, I think, yeah, you got a strong point of view as far as how we should tell this story, producing it, but we think you should play it as well.
And finally today, tell me about that moment that Willie Mays gave you his blessing, because you couldn't make this film without his approval or his endorsement. So tell me about that moment when you approached him and said, look, I'm going to play you. We're going to tell your story. Was he on board right away, or was he on the
Yeah,
set?
I think the producers had already worked him over.
Okay.
He was a big fan of a television series that I play in. And so I think, he was already a fan of my work, which helped. But as far as playing him, I don't know. I know that he was so helpful. Anytime I reached out to him, and, he came to the set while we shot the film, and, he was always imparting stories and tidbits about his life that helped me paint a picture of what it must have been like to be in his shoes, and I do know that seeing him with, even the rollout of this film and going to Cooperstown and seeing him, with his former players and playing in the All-Star game, I think there's something full circle about this and something that feels right about it. And I know that he's proud of this experience. So that feels good to me.
Well, congratulations on an incredible story. You got a wonderful performance. I'm a huge fan of Snowfall, by the way, so I had to tell you that right off the bat. And I don't know if anyone told you, but man, you have $1 million smile. So congratulations.
Oh man, thank you.
I mean,
you're giving out compliments today. Hey,
it's the end of the interview. I have to. Well, thank you so much for joining me. Good luck with the film, and we'll talk again soon. Thank you.
Thank you. All right now.